Welcome to the Selftax YouTube channel. If you're an expat, business owner, or landlord, this channel is for you. We simplify tax rules, deadlines, and updates so you can stay compliant without the stress. Subscribe and stay informed. If you are in scope for MTD for income tax but wondering whether there is any way to opt out, the answer is yes, but only in very specific circumstances. In this video I am going to show you exactly who qualifies for an MTD exemption, which exemptions are automatic, which ones require an application, and the grounds HMRC will not accept no matter how reasonable they might seem. Before anything else, one rule to understand clearly. You cannot simply decide not to comply with MTD. An exemption must be formally granted by HMRC before you are treated as exempt. If you are in scope and you stop filing under MTD without an approved exemption, penalty points and financial penalties will apply as normal. The exemption process is not a loophole. It is a formal process with specific criteria, and HMRC assesses applications strictly. Some groups are outside the scope of MTD for income tax entirely and do not need to apply for anything. Limited companies are not affected by MTD for income tax at all. MTD for corporation tax has no confirmed start date. Trustees completing a tax return in a trustee capacity are automatically outside scope. Personal representatives filing on behalf of someone who has died are also outside scope. Non-resident companies are outside scope. And if you have no qualifying income from self-employment or UK property, MTD does not apply to you regardless of your other income. Some individuals are automatically exempt from MTD for income tax based on the details in their most recent self-assessment return, without needing to submit an application. If your 2024 to 2025 tax return shows you are a Lloyd's underwriter, you are automatically exempt from MTD in 2026 to 2027 in respect of that underwriting income. If you do not have a national insurance number on the 31st of January before the start of the tax year, you are automatically exempt. These automatic exemptions apply on a year-by-year basis. If your circumstances change, your exemption status is reviewed. The most commonly applied exemption is digital exclusion. HMRC allows an exemption from MTD for income tax where a person is genuinely unable to use digital tools. The accepted grounds for digital exclusion are age combined with inability to use digital systems, physical or mental disability that makes using a computer unreasonable or impractical, location where there is no reliable internet access and no reasonable way to obtain it, and religious beliefs that are incompatible with using electronic communications or keeping electronic records. HMRC may ask for supporting evidence when considering the application. HMRC assesses applications individually. HMRC is explicit about what does not qualify for a digital exclusion exemption. A preference for paper records is not sufficient grounds. Lack of confidence with technology is not sufficient grounds. Wanting to avoid software costs is not sufficient grounds. Having a small number of transactions is not sufficient grounds. And simply finding the system inconvenient or complicated is not sufficient grounds. The test is whether using digital tools is genuinely unreasonable or impractical, not whether it is preferred or easier to avoid. Ministers of religion are not permanently exempt from MTD but are currently deferred. HMRC has confirmed that ministers of religion will not be required to join MTD for income tax until at least April 2029. This is a deferral rather than a permanent exemption, meaning the obligation may apply in the future once HMRC confirms the timeline. If you became a minister of religion after the 5th of April, 2025 and your qualifying income from your 2024 to 2025 return would otherwise bring you into MTD, you can contact HMRC if you believe the minister of religion deferral applies to your circumstances for 2026 to 2027. If you have already been granted a digital exclusion exemption for MTD for VAT, you are likely to qualify for the same exemption under MTD for income tax. However, the exemption does not transfer automatically. You must contact HMRC to confirm that your circumstances have not changed and to request the exemption for MTD for income tax separately. HMRC will consider your circumstances and may grant an equivalent exemption if your circumstances remain unchanged. If you believe you qualify for a digital exclusion exemption, the application is made directly to HMRC. You contact HMRC through their online services or by phone, explain the grounds for your exemption, and provide supporting evidence. For disability or health-related grounds, HMRC may ask for medical evidence or other information to support your application. For location-based grounds, HMRC may ask for evidence supporting your application, such as information about your address and internet availability in your area. For religious grounds, HMRC may ask for evidence supporting your application, such as information about your membership of the relevant religious society or order and the beliefs that prevent the use of electronic communications. HMRC will review your application and confirm in writing whether the exemption has been granted. If HMRC refuses your exemption application, you must comply with MTD for income tax as normal. You can appeal a refusal if you believe HMRC has assessed your application incorrectly. You may wish to seek professional advice before submitting an appeal is recommended. If your exemption application is refused and you continue to file outside MTD without approval, the normal penalty point system applies to any missed quarterly updates or final declarations. The safest approach if you are unsure whether you qualify is to speak to an accountant or tax advisor before applying, so your application is presented with the right supporting evidence from the start. So who can opt out of MTD for income tax and how does the process work? Limited companies, trustees, and personal representatives are outside scope entirely with no application needed. Some individuals are automatically exempt based on their tax return, including Lloyd's underwriters and those without a national insurance number. Digital exclusion exemptions are available for those genuinely unable to use digital tools due to age and disability, remote location without internet access, or religious beliefs incompatible with electronic records. Ministers of religion are deferred until at least April 2029. Most exemptions that are not automatic require an application to HMRC. You cannot simply opt out. HMRC approval must come first. Next up, how MTD for income tax affects sole traders specifically and what self-employed people need to know before April 2027. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Selftax for clear practical UK tax guidance. Stay informed, stay compliant, and stay one step ahead of HMRC.